let's talk about team agreements. It's very important, even in Scrum or any team, or a team has to agree on their norms and what they do. So if you can see here at the top right, we have team rules. So this team agreed they're going to work 8:30 to 5:30. They're going to do stand-up at 9 o'clock. If you're late to stand-up, you owe $2. Again, that ties back to successful open space, having some team rules and a way to pick on each other. If we agree it's important to have a stand-up, you don't show up, we want your $2. We'll give it to charity, we'll do something fun with it, but the goal is I can pick on you and say that, hey, you need to adhere to our norms. They're going to ship software every 2 weeks. We're going to do retrospectives Friday at 2, and you have to do time sheets on Friday by 3. So these meetings, this cadence of having a retrospective or this time reporting, these are all necessary things we need to do. They might not tie, this is a feedback loop, but it's not product development work, right? It's taking time to reflect and learn. It's taking time to put your reporting in. When you start putting all your meetings up here, you can also challenge, well, why? Why do we do these meetings? And timesheets like a really good one. So why do you do timesheets, right? So it used to be when you didn't have a very strong value stream of work, it might be for cost accounting. We want to know what you're working on, right? And what assets you're developing so we can capitalize those. But now that we kind of know the work, we know how many story cards are for Deb, for John, and Otis, right? It's pretty easy at the end to actually do that cost accounting and say, okay, this team of 20 worked 40 hours, right? Because we work at a sustainable pace. And it looks like, Deb got 8 cards, John got 2, and Otis got 3. So we could come up really easy, come up with a formula and say, okay, well, it looks like Deb's going to get billed more for that work than John did, than Otis did. So we can, maybe we don't need to know what project we're working on or product, because there's another lighter weight way for us to actually measure that. The other reason people do timesheets might be because you want to know PTO. Okay, so how many people like doing timesheets, right? It's never fun. It's always something that the manager or the leaders have to say, hey, did you get your time in? Did you get your time in? Did you get your time in? Because it's not as fun as actually delivering products and actually technology. So what if we said, wow, the only time you have to do a timesheet is when you have PTO, right? I trust you, right? I trust my people. You shouldn't work here if I can't trust you. So I know you're showing up and you're working 8:30 to 5:30. You're going to be at stand-up, because when you aren't at stand-up, right, we're actually going to know that too, because we're going to maybe pick on you and create a debt. So now I know that if you aren't here, then all you need to do is track log your PTO. So you can, I've had companies almost eliminate timesheets except for PTO. So that's a good example of a policy. We've had some companies, some people, when we start a sprint or an iteration, we say, okay, in these next 2 weeks, we're going to print every meeting that we have scheduled. And we're going to put every meeting up at the top of this board, and we're going to say, all right, do these meetings tie back to what feature, right? Why are we having this meeting? Are we having a meeting for something that's way down the pipe, right? It's coming at us, but it's not even close yet. So, or are we having a meeting and it looks like John, Amy, and Josh are going to that meeting? And do we really need 3 people to go to the meeting? Because we're working Agile, right? The job is for our knowledge workers to go obtain knowledge and bring that knowledge back to the team, and then make it visible and share that knowledge with the team. So maybe I said, okay, instead of 3 of us going to that security meeting, we're just going to send Amy, and Amy's going to find out what's relevant to our team, bring it back, and say, okay, you know what, one of the cards, I went to this meeting, and the output of the meeting was this is what the new security standards, and now it's show and tell, okay? We'll actually show and tell the results of the meetings, so that we're bringing information back to the team. Okay, so these team rules, putting your meetings up here, you really start to think about what are all the unnecessary things that we might be doing, and why are we doing them, right? And it's okay to say why, and understand if it's really adding value to product delivery, or are we really taking unnecessary steps that are just stopping flow. So maybe we got jammed up on testing because testing got invited to a whole bunch of meetings, and the entire testing group went to the meeting. And if we would have just sent one person, we wouldn't have stopped flow, and we didn't really need to add staff, right? We just need to not do unnecessary steps, right? So those are team norms.